Shields up, Ironbreakers. Rurikhan here coming at you with another video. Welcome back to Remnant from the Ashes, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a build that I've been working on for this game. Now, as you guys know, I've been pretty much addicted to this game for the past couple of days. I've been playing it pretty much non-stop, live streaming it. I've been re-rolling my world time and time again to do a bunch of different events, to unlock a bunch of different gear and try out a bunch of different armor and see which combination I like the most, because that is one of the things that I like to do when it comes to a game like this, as you guys are most likely aware. Now, when it comes to sharing a build like this, I'm going to be showing you a lot of items, a lot of mods, a lot of traits, and if you're just starting out, or maybe even if you finish the game, you might be looking at some of this stuff and be like, I don't know how to get any of this. And the thing is, I myself don't remember where I've gotten a lot of the stuff that I have right now. Usually I just look up, oh, I want to get this thing, and I go look it up, and then I get it, and then I forget about wherever I got it. So if you are looking for a specific item that I've shown here, you want to check out the Fextra Life wiki, because they can show you where you can get all of the weapons, all of the traits, what events you need to do in order to get this stuff, where do you get these events. All of that you can find on the Fextra Life wiki. So just to let you guys know that I'm not going to be specifying where you get every little thing that I'm going to be showing you in this build. Now, when it comes to the build itself, the gameplay that you guys are watching is on hard mode. Now, I could have done it in Nightmare, because the build does work in Nightmare, because one of the things that you guys will be looking at is all those turrets firing. And you're going to be wondering, do those turrets scale? How does that work? And yes, the turrets scale depending on the difficulty that you are on. So the harder the difficulty, the more damage the turrets are going to deal, to make up for the fact that the enemies have a higher health pool, which is good, which means that they are effective on Nightmare. I've tested it out. It works. It just takes longer to kill stuff, as is to be expected, because Nightmare has a ton more HP. And the reason that I didn't record in Nightmare is because it's just easier for me to get footage on hard mode that properly showcases the build, because if you do want to play on Nightmare, you know, you're going to be basically ducking and crawling and trying to evade enemies and only shooting the stuff that you have to, as opposed to just mowing enemies down, right? Those of you that have played Nightmare know what I'm talking about. Hard is just easier to showcase this stuff. But anyway, let's get to it. This build is about generating mod power for your weapons. So you don't necessarily have to use the same mods that I am using if that's not something that you want to do. I just find that the build really supports this particular playstyle of putting down turrets and basically them mowing down enemies while you are running around. You yourself are still going to be dealing the bulk of the damage, but it's really good because the turrets can stagger enemies, give you a lot of openings. They can shoot enemies while you're running around. So there's just a lot of advantages to having those turrets. But having said that, if you want to use this build and just try to get yourself to generate as much mod power to use a different mod for yourself, it will also work for that. So let's start looking at the build itself. So I am using for my sidearm the repeater pistol. And I know it's the first weapon that you get and all of that. I know what you guys are going to say. But ultimately, just because it's the first weapon, it does not mean that it is a bad weapon. As a matter of fact, I really, really like the repeater pistol. But again, if you want to use something else, feel free to do so. As a matter of fact, if you want to use a boss weapon, feel free to do so. The reason I use this is because it gives me a lot of versatility with the stuff that I can use, which is one of the things that this build has, versatility. So, for instance, right now, what I have equipped is the Rattleweed mod. Now, the Rattleweed mod is not something that I use often. I have it equipped right now because in the footage that you are watching, I had to kill Gorefist, and Gorefist is a bit of a pain in the ass with all the exploding ads coming at you. You can use the Rattleweed to get the ads to explode further away, and then you can just keep plopping down turrets, and you're golden. This thing is actually getting nerfed, though, but I still think Rattleweed will be effective. Now, usually what I tend to use is Corrosive Aura. Corrosive Aura I like much more because it debuffs your enemies, it gets you to do more damage, and if you're playing in a party setting, which usually I play with a friend, this buffs your friend's damage as well, so it's overall a better choice for us. But, you know, if you're stuck on a boss and you need something to distract ads, Rattleweed will do the trick. Or maybe you like another mod, like maybe you want to get yourself a heal, you can get Mender's Aura in here. It's not really a big deal, or whatever other mod you want. Now, then we have the Assault Rifle, and I know that a lot of you guys are going to prefer using the Beam Rifle. Go right for it if you want to. I prefer the way the Assault Rifle fires, so therefore I went with the Assault Rifle. I have it fully upgraded, and there is basically the base of the build, which is the Iron Sentinel, which is a turret. Shoots 5 rounds per second, deals 12 damage per hit, and lasts 42 seconds. Those 12 damage are going to scale depending on the difficulty that you're on. And I'm not sure if those 42 seconds are already taken into account the fact that I have a necklace that increases the duration of summon minions, but basically they stick around quite a while and they're super solid. So that's why I'm using that with the assault rifle. Again, you can use a different weapon if you want to, but I like the assault rifle. Then we got the Guardian Axe for the melee weapon. The Guardian Axe also generates additional mod power, so whenever you're stuck in a situation where maybe you ran out of ammo and you have to actually use your melee, or maybe an enemy is close by and he's very low and you want to hit him, this is also going to be generating mod power for your guns, and therefore you can plop down more turrets or use some other ability that you want to. Now, when it comes to mod generation, one of the best armors that I've found so far, at least in the game, because I haven't seen everything, is the Cultist set. Not only that, it also looks badass. You got a sweet hat, you got a sweet overcoat, and you got some decent boots. So it's like this set looks great and performs great. As you can see right there, plus 50% mod power on crits. But it's only on crits, so you're going to need to be critting quite a bit to take advantage of this set. So naturally, that you're going to be looking at Braided Thorns, which so far has been the best ring that I've found in terms of crit. I'm not sure if there's a better one than this or not. Basically, whenever you kill an enemy, you are able to get 15% additional crit chance. And I know what you guys are going to say. You're going to go like, Burkhan, but you actually have to kill an enemy in order to get that crit bonus. But here's the thing. Most of the boss fights in this game have ads. So you're not going to have too many problems killing enemies in the middle of a boss fight if that's something you're concerned. And you're also not going to have that many problems killing enemies in general in order to get that additional 15% crit. You guys, some of you may also be like, but it's only 15%. But yeah, but every little bit helps and you're going to want to crit. Because you're also going to want to get the Devouring Loop, because with the Devouring Loop, whenever you crit, you're going to have a percentage chance to deal 300% bonus damage. Now, in my case, that is going to be a 20% chance, but depending on your level of a specific trait, that is going to be different. I have 20% because I have Maximum Catalyst, which I will get into in just a couple of minutes here, but for now, just know Braided Thorns, Devouring Loop, and then finally, for your amulet, you want to increase the duration of summoned creatures by 40% because the turrets are a summoned creature, and that is going to get your turrets to stick around for longer. Now, if you're using a different mod, you might want to use a different amulet that further, enhances the mod that you want to use with this build. Because like I said, the purpose of this build is to generate mod power. Therefore, you can use it with whatever mods you want. This is just the mods that I personally kind of like. Now, moving right along in terms of traits. I'm going to have way more traits than are needed for the build itself because there's no limit to how many traits you can actually get. But if I had to say which ones are the most important traits for this build, I would have to start with Spirit. You definitely want to get Spirit because it's just flat out more mod power generation. Because the way that this is going to go is the more damage you deal on enemies, the more mod power you're going to generate. Then you're going to start stacking all of the bonuses. Like if you happen to crit, then you get additional mod power from the armor that you're wearing. You also get more mod power because you dealt more damage. So everything starts like cascading to a point where it gets completely ridiculous. So after Spirit, I'd advise you to go for Executioner. And again, I don't know exactly how to get all these traits again. Look up FX for Life if you're curious. With Executioner, that is going to increase your critical hit chance bonus because you want to get as much crit chance as possible. After that, you're going to want to go for Catalyst. Now, what Catalyst is going to do is it's going to increase your proc chance by 15%. Remember when I told you that this ring starts at 5%? That's where you get the other 15 from. It is this trait. It increases the proc chance of that ring and of other items that have procs by 15%. So therefore, that means that whenever you do crit, you're going to have a 20% chance to deal 300% bonus damage on top of the already critical hit, on top of the already added damage that you're going to be having. Now, again, get all the survival traits that you want and all that. I'm just telling you the traits that I find particularly important. So like I said from the beginning, Spirit. After that, you want to go for Catalyst. Actually, no, it was Spirit. And then after that, you want to go for Executioner. After that, you want to go for Catalyst. After that, I would personally go for Kingslayer, so that whenever you do crit, you're going to deal additional damage on top of the 300% more damage that are coming with your ring. Like, we're talking some seriously big damage whenever you do crit, okay? And again, this also works with other weapons. So, like, if you want to use that black hole weapon, I forget the name of it, that thing will just destroy whenever you shoot the black hole. A friend of mine uses that build. And then after that, I would advise you to get Mind's Eye because, again, the more damage you deal, the more mod power you're going to gain, and everything just kind of stacks on top of each other. Everything else that you want to get in terms of traits is completely up to you. Just remember Spirit Executioner, Catalyst, Kingslayer, and Mind's Eye, which is basically, you know, stuff to generate mod and deal as much damage as possible. And that is the build. And as you can see, it is a ton of fun. It is hands down the most powerful build that I have done so far, and it is very good because of the fact that it helps you control one of the hardest challenges in this game, which is the ads. A lot of times the game just like swarms you with ads, and it can be very hard to manage that. The turrets help a ton with that stuff. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about the build. What would you change about the build? Because this is my first build that I'm working on, and you know, I haven't seen all of the items in the game. I haven't fired all of the weapons in the game. I haven't seen all of the things that the game has on offer. Not to mention that with adventure mode coming pretty soon, I believe they're also going to be adding a couple of new items into the game, so those might improve the build as well. But let me know what you guys would do different in the comment section down below. Let me know if you guys would like to see more builds. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit up the like button because it really, really helps me out more than you can think. And if you didn't like the video, hit the dislike button because feedback is also important. So if you guys enjoy my videos, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon so that YouTube notifies you once every full moon. And yeah, stay strong. May your shields never break.
Not bad. Whew, broke a sweat. I'll give you that.